Considering that they lost against Geek in game number 1 just now, losing against Nile in a lot of occasions, especially in that retreat department, we're going to see here Coach Aldo and Coach Airpang will cook up something in the draft for their players to play.
I think the main problem, though, for game number 1 was the Beatrix pick. Just was not a fan of that. You know, they picked the Beatrix into a Claude and a Kadita. We kind of already hovered over that topic in game number 1, right after it was picked up. One of the ways the Bigatron Alpha have been able to win against Kadita was through picking up the Wanwan, a hero that's really good up against that lockdown CC. So very interesting to see that they have stirred away from going on Wanwan and instead picked up a Beatrix who's very vulnerable, like we mentioned earlier.
Okay. So it seems like here they will stay in the same side, and Geek Fam on the red side, they were able to grab a point. So will they replicate that success? Bigatron, this time, they changed their approach, banning out that Kadita, leaving out the Natalia. I think this is a wiser move.
Oh, interesting. So I think Natalia has been buffed, I believe, in this patch, and Beloyski is definitely trying to play that hero in MPL Indonesia Season 12 half season, the second half of the season after this patch, but he hasn't had the chance to do so. But Bigatron Alpha, though, this guy has been having his chance to play Valentinas even since in Snapdragon Pro Series, and he's been good at it.
Yup. And this now, Geek Fam asking a question. Last time around, they have the Kadita banned out. What will they go for here? Will they prio another potential mid laner, or will they go just to get that Nile hero again? Lancelot first pick again. Quite shady, but I think it's doable.
Knowing you have a player like Nile, going for the Lancelot here would be very, very good. They picked up the Kadita and the Claude, so... Okay. Oh, Uranus and Claude. Uranus was actually banned out in the second phase of the drafts for Bigatron, so... What do you think about the Uranus, you know? Because we haven't really seen a lot of Uranuses after the patch.
Only Oran, I think, pulled it off after the patch.
And did he win?
Oh, he lost.
He lost.
I remember.
I don't know if it's just the patch or people just realize that Uranus is kind of overrated in pro scene, because in terms of like in team fights, he doesn't really do much. The best way to use Uranus is use that solo lane pressure, that wave clear that can be, you know, you can't really be bursted down by anyone else in the game unless you have a carry or a lot of CCs on your hand, or even Dairoth with that physical threat. But aside of that, there's not much thing you can offer from Uranus, man. Like, it's just damage towards the backline, just harassing, no CCs, no nothing.
Exactly.
We're gonna see the respawn here from Bigatron Alpha is gonna be that signature Franco from Finn. Will Natalia be picked?
Later, I think second phase is the wiser move if they really want to
banned.
commit on towards the Natalia. But the Lancelot, this is what I'm concerned of. Geek Fam, they could have picked the Lancelot in their first pick because they pick up the Uranus and the Claude. Now, Bigatron taking Lancelot out of their way in the hands of Nile. Will it create a crack in the side of Geek Fam's composition? Or, you know, will they prevail again? There you go. Not picking another hero for now, so they're really committing.
Okay.
But now, second phase, let's pick up the Farsa, even though our opponent has a Lancelot.
Interesting. I think Farsa's stock is going down right now, right? Because we haven't seen much Farsa at all in this game after a few weeks. And even Udil, the last time he played Farsa, and he's a really good Farsa player, by the way, he doesn't really do much. You know, there's just too much dive to deal with, especially with this Franco, with this Lancelot. Like, even Valentina can copy that feathered airstrike and kind of deal that mirroring damage, and you can't really take much of it.
That's the thing, the dive is a big problem, a big hurdle to try to jump over for the Farsa players. But we have seen a boy perform some miracles on that Farsa, and it is a comfort pick. Since the Feramis has been taken away, the Valentina as well, I think this is the only pick that he can really go for. I mean, the Kadita was banned as well. Now it's the Martis. They're starting to just nail down on Nile.
Nail down on Nail. Second phase, last ban, Geek Fam. I think they should commit to another marksman ban here. Erithel?
I think I prefer carry,
Yeah,
and you
same.
pick Baxia in the second phase. Just to be that utility jungler to absorb all the damage, because Fredrin, I feel like, is going to be banned for Bigatron Alpha. But that also leaves the option to go for X-Quirk for Super Sorizo. So I don't know.
Seems like the answer will be neither. It will be the Terizla here. Maybe considering that the Farsa he wants to go Flicker, right? So with the Terizla,
Makes sense.
somehow forces the Farsa to pick up the Purify. But now, because it's out of the board, yeah, Farsa quite free. Can pop the Flicker to get away from the pressure that Lancelot can deal.
We haven't seen a lot of this hero before, but I'm thinking something like a good ban, by the way, in Natalia. I think we completely forgot about that pick. That could definitely be picked up by Geek Fam here. But for Bigatron Alpha, something like a Yu Zhong or maybe even an Esmeralda might be an option to go for. Esmeralda, a bit more risky. Yu Zhong, never seen Cerezo pull that off, but it is a very good pick against a Farsa here.
Yep.
For Geek, let's see what they go for first. I think picking a jungle, picking a roamer would be safer for them. They go for the Ruby again. Why not? It worked earlier. We'll try it again.
It definitely worked and it resulted to a win, but I don't think that's the biggest reason why Geek Fam was able to win. I think the biggest part was Nile with his Lancelot, a lot of outplays that he made. So we're going to see here against a Lancelot, against a Franco, you can kind of punish them quite easily with that second skill, and also I'm offended. So that I think that's you know, the whole idea for Geek Fam. But there you go, the carry coming through for Bigatron Alpha, and I think it's just like against Claude, against Uranus, I think it's the best way to go, man. Like you have Franco too, you have someone who can set you up.
Yeah, indeed. And looking at this, is there a possibility Geek Fam will pick a Hellcurt themselves, showing Selly Boy or Seri Super Ken how it's done? But now it's going to be the Baksha instead.
Baksha!
Even after the carry. The Fredrin would be a pretty solid answer, but I think the Baksha has more mobility to get to these lanes faster and to try to win it in the early game a bit faster. Maybe to give the Claude a bit more pressure and space to play with in lane as well. Because again, the carry versus Claude lane, it should now go to carry's side as to, you know, the winning lane. We'll see how it works out though, as the Bigot Troopers are here in the building.
Bigot Troopers are here in the building. And we're gonna see, man, like, in the last game of Rasi using Arlet, he got punished quite hard with the presence of Baksha and that rotating speed from the Shield Unity. And I think I'm gonna see a deja vu in this game. I believe Baksha on this Nile.
Composition-wise, I'm going to go with Geek Fam here, considering that they have a lot of dimensions, right? A burst, rotation. I'm signing with Geek Fam, second game.
Definitely. Geek Fam is looking. The Geeks are looking to decode the second layer of that firewall from Bigatron Alpha. It's game number 2 of Geek Fam versus Bigatron.
Let us see what will happen here in the second game. Super Ken will start at the purple. Jungler will start purple. Nile already with this jungle invasion camp. Super Ken though, seems like he wants to deny it away.
Yeah, very aggressive here. Retry battle. Nile actually wins it out. Super Ken did not want to utilize that retry, but might be forced to. Luke gonna be knocked up here. Super Ken, losing out again on the little creep. Geek Fam are really trying to shut Super Ken down in the start of the game.
I like that. That's huge value. And you know what? Super Ken doesn't want to use that retribution on that small camp, knowing that the red buff is still there. And this is Baksha we're talking about. The farming speed is just impeccable for this guy. And it's gonna be a retribution here. There you go.
Yep.
That's why he saved it.
Well, it seems like here, Geek Fam, they are banking on 4 agilities and 3 tenacities.
No jungles at all.
And no jungles. And take a look at the purifies that Geek Fam brings. 3, Uranus, Aboy, and Kadera. So even though that they banned the Terizla out, they still are rocking with the purifies here. They want to be safe. They don't care if the Lancelot has some killing pressure. As long as I can escape from the Franco, they think they're fine.
Oh, Lord. Just the jungle is just erased from the map for Super Ken. He doesn't have anything to do in this early game, and right now he's still a level 3 compared to Nile that's already level 4. That's definitely a huge value, but taking on Valley, Baloski will try to get the level 4, which I don't think it can be used anymore in this patch because the update is there.
Yeah, and now Super Finn actually built up the rapid boots first. Nile, level 5 to Ken's level 3. It's a free turtle over to Geek Fam right now, and they didn't even use the retry. Finn forced to flick around. Luke still chasing him down. That's a feathered airstrike, and even a shield unity under the turret. That's a kill over. But the Earth Shatter now comes down with the Primal Wrath. Luke was tanking that up right now, but Moreno is rotated over, and it's going to be a kill for Cerezo. Traded in for a kill onto Vin. Neutral objective-wise, it's still worth it for Geek Fam.
good trade there. I mean, Biggitron
Look at
Alpha, they need to take whatever they can, but Geek Fam, man, I think they're just controlling the jungles of Biggitron already.
Moreno getting pulled back, still able to survive just a bit. Supervin trying to delay this orange buff take, but I think it is inevitable. Niall still has that red tree, and he just picks it up. Look at the delay and the pacing. He understands when his creeps are going to come up. The orange buff, not even at risk. And Super Ken is just left with the scraps. And look, oh, it's a steal. A boy takes it. Super Ken is forced to use the red tree for a little creep up top. And now onto the gold buff. If Chidera steals this one, it's a big tilter for BTR.
3 levels difference from this jungler.
Oh!
Still 3! Wow! It couldn't got any worse for Super Ken, but he's gonna get a kill right now.
Okay, you didn't have to say it. That was a caster curse. Couldn't have gone any worse.
Okay.
But I mean, look at the pressure that now brings Poison's box.
Whoa, a boy feather airstrike. This is a full-on dive on the tier 1 Chidera. Even jumps back to the BMI place before. And Geek Fam were just running Biggitron down.
Yeah, it's very nerdy pathing, man. It's just Niall is just doing it the nerd way, taking all the jungles from Super Ken. He cannot do anything, man. Oh, I like this so much. Super Ken still level 4, meanwhile Niall already, finally, 2 level difference. Not much to say though. But this is carry we're talking about, so I think they have to be very careful about using this Boxia, especially in the late game, because you can get punished quite hard, especially with that Franco to combo it up with.
I mean, as long as Geek Fam make sure that this carry is below and not a hit. Oh, good catch.
For the airstrike blazing duet. I'm offended. What? What? How? 2 levels below. What the heck happened on the turtle side? Still worth it for Geek Fam though. They were able to take down a big member, Super Moreno. Sorizo in a 1v1 against Luke. Very aggressive with a Primal Wrath. Wait. No, there's no way it's a solo kill here. Luke gets out just in time. Sorizo might have stayed a bit too long in that skirmish and now gets pumped down by the shield Unity. Still able to escape a good Earth Shatter. No onward just yet. Could have been dangerous, but Luke still had to Purify.
It's all because of the dominance ice that Sorizo has, particularly the top side.
Bloody Hunt. Phantom Execution. Beloy gets out for a bit, but the Thorn Rose got Super Ken the kill. Now he's 1-0-1. He's slowly catching up.
Yeah.
How did he steal that turtle?
I don't know, man. It's just knowing that the only one who's taking the turtle right now is Niall, and so far Super Ken, in terms of damage control, he's doing it quite well because there's not much jungle in your area. It's just jungling the opposite area. They still have a lot of jungles. I have to take it. I'm gonna take it. And there you go. A total 2 in the process.
Okay, looking at the gold now, right? Super Saiyan, 3,700 gold. 1,000 in gold difference, but he pops a conceal. Will they commit to this?
Doesn't really matter. Yeah, just look at the turret.
Oh, Iron Hook not connecting. Good maneuvers by Beloy, and Chidera just sieges that turret down for free. Geek Fam with some really good rotation. Oh, that's a wall Phantom Execution. A Panic Thorn Rose. Puncture, getting out of the I'm offended. Sorizo's here, but Luke is walking him down as well. This should be a kill. Beautiful by a boy. Taking Super Ken out after a blunder.
Man, it doesn't matter. Biggitron Alpha, they're looking for answers, but Geek Fam, they do not give him one. And look at Baksha already with the invades again. Super Ken, in this game, he is starving, my guy.
He's definitely starving for some juice, man. Like, there's not much electricity to work with for this robot, for this jungler. And Geek Fam, they're doing a pretty good job, a really incredible job at that, actually. And rather they have the advantage towards the turtle as well, Super Ken is not in the vicinity.
Looking at the rotations right now. Oh, good feather airstrike to chop Super Vin down. And it seems like Geek Fam again with the control. Last time what happened was in game 1 when Geek Fam were able to claim control, Biggitron Alpha couldn't find a loophole. Could this be another same story in game 2?
It might be if it keeps on going like this. The only option for Biggitron Alpha is right now to play it low, play it very safely, but oh, almost. Okay, so they didn't go for that, knowing that they don't really have a lot of resources to work with the burst down look, especially when carry Super Saiyan is not in their area. I like that.
Well, looking at the situation right now, again, remember leg 1, it was Bigatron Alpha defeating Geek Fam 2-1. And looking at the situation, Geek Fam might get the revenge here with a 2-0 victory. 4,000 gold lead already in hand. Super Saiyan though, top side.
Oh, okay, that's a kill. My God. Everything was used up though. They sent 4 members up top, and now Supercan should not be able to take this orange buff. He's forced out.
Red team turret has been
What the
destroyed.
hell? That's a big level lead, man.
It's definitely big, and right now, Bigatron Alpha, I think they found some solution to fix their codes, and that is try to isolate that solo laner in Luke. As long as you have carry, as long as you have Super Saiyan with that corrosion scythe and also cooldown staff, you can burst it down quite easily. But Chidera, fancy feet.
Well, good clear as well. But the far side here already done with this LT. Right? What does this mean? Looking at the situation right now, he can go for anything. Holy Crystal, even go for Divine Glaive. So it's all in the hands of a boy. If he wants some more magic power, he should go for Holy Crystal. Bloy, Super Ken jumps in though.
Oh, very deep now. Blazing Duet onto the back, but the Earth Shatter cancels it. Chidera gets caught by the Bloody Hunt. Below with I'm offended right now. Able to connect on the 2 members, but Ben is still in the front. It's a killing spree for Niles. He picks Super Ken out. Chidera for Super Ken. And the Supers are hunting for more. A desperate attempt to get back in this game. But with the Purify still up for a boy and Luke, there is no kill threat that BTR can place onto Geek.
That's a lot of value, I think, for the robots, man. Like, if it's a 1v1 trade, you're gaining value because as long as the game goes, if the game goes longer, it's Bigatron Alpha's advantage, I would say, especially because of that carry and Super Vin on this Franco. Very, very trustable.
Man, looking at the situation again, it's 30,000 gold here for side of Geek Fam, which means power spikes already for the side of Claude and almost for that Farsa. So DPS Magic Burst is already in their hands. Bigatron, it will be very hard for them to find the right engage, considering that carry has a very small range. Let's see though.
No.
And there you go. That Feather Airstrike already popped.
Oh,
That's info.
Arnhook Flicker not connecting there. Beloy Conceal going to be cancelled out, but it's a big win for Geek Fam. No Flicker for Vin. That was a risky move. And even if it hit, let's say, there were still Purifies on the board here for Geek Fam, and now it gives everything over to Geek Fam to control this Lord Dance. There's no Flicker Bloody Hunt to be worried about now, and look at where Luke is. He understands it. That's why he's just in that mid lane, constantly shoving in. You know where Super Ken is, and Super Ken is in nowhere, shape, or form to try to go for this contest, but Geek Fam resets. The Lord Bloody Hunt onto Beloyski. Earth Shadow right now in the back is going to be a Purify from Super Saiyan as he runs away, but Chidera's chasing him down, and Super Saiyan falls. It's a 1-for-1 roamer for gold lane. Luke zoning away. Bigatron Alpha. Super Ken doesn't even get that. Uses the Phantom Execution defensively. Now into the mid lane. That's a shield unity. And a Thunderbelt built up by Super Ken. Geek Fam added again on the Lord.
It's gonna be a free Lord, I think, because Super Ken in the top lane right now has to manage the lane, has to manage the wave, and this is where Geek Fam will start to snowball and start to get more lead. But Chidera, ooh, it's always close, man, but in Mobile Legends, close doesn't really mean anything.
No, it does not, and this is what means something. Absolute kills. Chidera, baiting out the Flicker with a BMI. And Bigatron are in shambles.
Horrendous fight from Bigatron Alpha displayed, and it is all because this guy isn't fed. A very good setup right side of Geek Fam to control that early, keeping Super Ken very low on gold, and so when during fights they were able to have more say. And with this first Lord, we might see the base turret from side of Bigatron Alpha cracked, even though that was just the first Lord.
Nile, oh Nile, right now he's having a perfect game. 5-0-1, by the way, on Abashia. 5 kills on your favor compared to Super Ken's 1-2-3 on his signature Lancelot. This is Super Ken, by the way. He's one of the monster rookies of last season, and Nile is looking to recreate that story in Season 12.
Okay, let's see here. Looking at the setup here. Oh, missed again. Unfortunately, Super Vin on this Franco hasn't isn't really a threat force out of Geek Fam here. Sure, with the Purifies, but it seems like very hard for Supervin to create an impact.
Oh, two-man! No, it's a three-man! I'm offended. Super Sonic able to evade for now. The Primal Wrath to try to get out, but he ultimately falls. This should be it. 12 minutes in. Desperate attempt of a fight right now, but I'm offended connects onto the back again, and it's a wipe-out clean sweep. They've taken Bigatron Alpha out with a statement, a declaration of war. 2-0. 13 minutes.
Man, the robots has been fully decoded by the Geeks. Very on brand. But Nile, this is definitely a revenge game. The jitters are completely gone. He's gone against one of the best team in Indonesia, and he doesn't have any kind of nervousness at all. No shows, no signs of jitters at all. 5-0-1 on the posture just now. Oh Lord.
The revenge mission succeeded by the Geeks. Again, it was Bigatron in leg 1, winning 2-1, and their response in leg 2 was a clean sweep. Moreno, the super sub, quote unquote, wasn't able to carry with this Valentina first pick twice in the game. It was actually this guy, this leadership. Baloy leading the fray, and of course, Niall. Give him an assassin, give him Lance, he will prevail. Give him Baksha too, he will prevail.
The adjustment game has been won by the Geeks. The robots couldn't give up, as Chidera might be locking his roster spot in the starting lineup for the rest of MPL Indonesia Season 12 right now. It's very evident that the game goes on way better right now with him on that gold lane, but the improvement on Nile is just insane. Coach Aldo is just shaking his head, rubbing his temples. Can't believe what happened, losing against Geek Fam. In terms of standings, they're one of the worst teams in MPL Indonesia against Bigatron.
And now it bumps Bigatron even lower in the standings, getting to very, very scary territory.
We're gonna see here the interview with the winning team, Geek Fam, with Bude Clara.